Hi guys, thank you for joining me. I'm Kim and thank you for joining Recipient of Letters. I do want to talk about Jane and the Waterloo Map. If you are a fan of literary terms and literature and anything about books and how they look, feel, just appreciating them, this is a really cool book because it has a lot of those aspects to it. And there's also a murder mystery. Anyone who loves books is going to really like all the fun words and dialect and how the author writes in this book. It's super cool. Stephanie Barron is her name. I've been going through and I've been highlighting, annotating, as they like to say, different parts. And one of the first things that caught my eye was this. James shall be appalled to learn that I have become a woman of business as well as letters. My fallen nature is confirmed. So basically, it's a book where it's pretending Jane Austen is the character. So we all know Jane Austen as the famous author that wrote Sense and Sensibility, Pride, Prejudice, Emma, all those books. But in this one, the author made Jane Austen the character and as an author, and she's trying to get her works published. But yeah, I just started it. It's really good. And then she gets invited to Carlton House, it's called, and it's the monarchy and where all the royal people are hanging out, and they've invited her to be there, and they said, oh hey, why don't you come on in and you can use our library and you can write here. And she's kind of wondering, like, why are you inviting me to this? So she goes to visit this estate, the monarchy in London, and there's a part where she's in there and she says, she's looking at the rooms and how it looks. Card tables might hold pride of place in the sumptuous public rooms of Carlton House, but books, it seemed, were relegated to the cellars. Oh, it's kind of funny. Where else? Okay, here we go. And here's where it ties into the true, like, admiration, love, appreciation of books. The Carlton House Library is a feast for the eyes of anyone abandoned from birth to the seduction of literature, as I must confess myself to be. The way she writes too, it's so proper. Like, it took me a while when I first started reading the book to get into the flow of this writing because it's very English proper. I mean, come on, who writes like this? The Carlton House Library is a feast for the eyes of anyone abandoned from birth to the seductions of literature, as I must confess myself to be. I love it. Oh yeah, here. Oh, and I don't know if you can see this, but I've been annotating it and putting really awesome highlights and basically anything that has to do with books, stationery, the love of books, appreciation of books, the library. I've been putting a rectangle or square around in blue and then also in yellow with King Art pastel gel pens, which are super silky, by the way, and smooth. Really fun to do this with, to annotate with. So I've been doing that. And super fun because then when I look through, I can easily find the parts that I really like and it sticks in my brain more because I'm writing. And when you write, you remember better because you're turning your thoughts into a physical form. Okay, some thousands of books, beautifully bound in buff and blue leather, the prince's household colors, were shelved from waist height to ceiling on every side. And of course, I immediately thought of Beauty and the Beast when Belle walks into that library in the castle, and it's just these super high walls of books, like this ginormous circle library. So awesome. That's what I pictured in my head. Let's see. These were set with oil lamps ideal for reading, and supplies of ink, pens, and paper in handsome tooled leather boxes. A roaring fire in a massive marble heath. Sounds amazing, just reading by fire. How I should have loved to while away my hours writing in the warmth and solitude of this room. Had the acceptance of the prince's invitation been remotely possible, but it could not be. Henry was too close to danger still to spare me, and even if he were not, I must be made uncomfortable by the generosity of a prince I held in contempt. I really like this part because to me I just thought sacrifice, because she more than anything, she just wants to be writing alone, solitude, uninterrupted, just in this beautiful library. But she's putting her brother's needs, Henry's, he's super sick in the book. She's putting his needs over her desire to write in this beautiful place. I wrote that down here on my side notes. Sacrifice, appreciation of solitude. Okay, and then while she's at the palace, she's basically being shown the palace by the royal librarian, and his name is it Mr. Clark? Right, I think so. And Mr. Clark, he asks Jane Austen, is your heroine to be as modest and humble a lady as Miss Fanny Price? And she replies, not at all. I replied, without noting that such a poor-spirited heroine must be a death to sales. Indeed, I cannot think Emma a creature many but myself will like. She is too full of spirit, self-assurance, vanity, and pride, and she is in the habit of always getting her own way. I love that, because Jane Austen, she's being so authentic, and I wrote here authenticity, because everyone's expecting her novel to have the same type of heroine as her other novels, and Jane is like, not at all. And then after her description, the royal librarian's like, the very picture of the Princess Charlotte. I thought that was funny, because I was expecting him to be offended or like give some remark like, how dare you? But instead the description reminds him of the royal Princess Charlotte. Thought that was funny. So yeah, there's a lot of funny parts in here so far. I just started it like a week or two ago. Let's see, how far am I? I think I'm finishing chapter 5, but it's taking me a while because I'm doing the annotating, but it's super fun. I love the way she writes. It's really cool. So basically she gets invited to the palace, and while she's there, something happens, right? The murder takes place, and she's been describing like what she sees, and she's suspicious because the only thing that the person said before he died was Waterloo Map, which is the title of this book. And so she's on a quest to figure out what happened. Was he poisoned? Was he murdered? What happened that all of a sudden he just died? And that's the last word, 2 words that he said. Let's see. So then she describes like the beauty of the palace. a lot of things, a lot of walls and items covered in gilt, which I had to look that up. I had never heard of that before. It's GILT, and it's when something's coated with gold. And so that's why the palaces look super fancy. They have a lot of gilt. Kind of ironic. And so she talks about that, but then she also gets into nature, which I love. She describes, and it's interesting because she's underground, because a lot of the public rooms in the palace are actually underground instead of when you first walk in, all that area is for royalty, and then a lot of the rooms are below, underground, and that's where she is describing how the palace looks. She says she's looking out of a window underground, and she says, she starts talking about yew trees, Y-E-W, and I had to look that up too. They're a type of evergreen tree, and they are very toxic and poisonous. She says the shrubs had been clipped into fantastic shapes. A charger's head, mane blown back, a sea nymph rising from a wave, placed in a spot where no garden could grow, an entire story below ground. They refreshed the eye on a dark November afternoon. Again, I suppressed the desire to accept Mr. Clark's invitation and write in the peace and comfort of this remarkable house. I might be undisturbed for hours, treated to good coal fires, and have my pick of myriad Jameses to bring me ratafia and cakes whenever I desired them. And the James, apparently all the helpers in the palace are named James, so that it's easy for them to be called upon, versus trying to remember every helper's name. They're all called James, because God forbid you have to remember more than one name. So I think that's one of the first few times she brings up nature when she's talking about the yew trees. I think before that, it's more about her trying to sell her novel and get it published and getting an invitation to the palace. Yeah, pretty sure. Okay, so she's talking about the yew trees, and then, let's see. Oh, here we have a second time where she brings up letters. And this is so special to me because the reason I chose Recipient of Letters as the name for what I'm doing here is I love the broad term of letters, right? Like letters, it's not just something you get in the mail or a written letter, or like letters is also the letters of the alphabet. It's letters in literature, right? Like you can be a woman of letters, a man of letters, a scholar. It can be a sports person, you know, a jockey, when they have a letter on their coat, that's a letter. There's so many, it's such a broad term, and there's so many definitions of letters. I just love how broad it is, but it's still focused on words and letters and books and learning, and it's just this broad umbrella that I can use because I tend to struggle with just focusing on one thing. Like I love hand lettering, but I don't just want to hand letter. Like I love hand lettering because it ties into writing, and it ties into the beauty of letters and the beauty of words and writing and that creativity. So it does give it that more like a huge, right, palette or canvas, or open doors to create more than just hand lettering. So, but I like that letters, it still ties to hand lettering. So that's why this book is really calling to me too, because it is fitting so much with what I want to do creatively. So the second time we hear about letters, she says, or no, I'm sorry, Mr. Clark, the royal librarian, says to her, "You are aware that on occasion the Regent grants the favor of notice to various luminaries of art and letters. It is to be your honor, Miss Austen, to receive that notice." So there we go again. They're referring to her as a woman of letters, right? Like, that's such an awesome title. Like, you are a recipient, right? You are receiving this. You are a person of letters. You are a scholarly person. You are a person that loves learning and loves writing and is valued for how you put your thoughts onto paper and you turn those thoughts into physical manifestation. And I think that's so cool that it's literally put in there. Luminaries of art and letters. Yes. So we find out, because remember when I said she was wondering, why are they inviting me to this palace? Like, why is royalty interested in me and my novels? And the truth comes out right here. I'm gonna read it all. "It is His Royal Highness's pleasure and happiness to command that your next published work be dedicated humbly and gratefully to himself as regent of the noble land that gave you birth, Miss Austen, that inspired your genius, that has so warmly embraced your interesting histories of genteel romance. You will wish, I know, to send a simple note of thanks to the Regent for this notice, which I will be happy to convey myself. I will procure you pen and paper directly. The dedication, when composed, may also be sent for my perusal, so that any little improvements that might strike my fancy and that have escaped your scrupulous intellect may be subscribed therewith. And so we find out she's there because basically the prince wants her to dedicate her book to him because he's that arrogant. And I also liked that they use the word subscribed here in a literary term, right? Like, we're so used to hearing subscribe, like subscribe to my YouTube, subscribe to this, that. But it's so cool to see it written here in a literary fashion. I love that. And that have escaped your scrupulous intellect may be subscribed therewith. I just love that we have subscribed in that context. It's so cool. Let's see, going back to nature, I have, okay, so I don't know how much I should be giving because I don't want to like give out too many spoilers. So she's looking at the design of some of the palace rooms again, and she says, a maid had restored the Regent's picture-perfect room to its frame. I know that's simple, but I feel like there's so much to that too. Picture-perfect room to its frame. I guess I've never thought of a room as in a frame, like a painting in a frame. I thought that was really cool. And I had to look that up. I'm like, is that a metaphor? Is that what term? What literary term goes with that? And one that came up is synecdoche? It's synecdoche. And it's like taking part of something to describe all of it. So the frame of the picture-perfect room is taking the place of all the details inside the room. I don't know if I got that right. That would be the synecdoche. I gotta look up how to say it again. But I thought that was really clever. I like that. So now when I look at rooms, I'm like picturing them as a painting in a frame. Cool. Okay. Oh, okay. So when she leaves the palace, after the person dies, she goes back to her brother that's sick, and she's talking about something he said when he was really ill, and she says, "In the grip of delirium last week, he called my name and that of his dead wife, but also that of his banking partner, Mr. Tilson." I thought that was funny because I wrote here, funny how much impact finances have, like even in your delirious states, like my banker, my finances. And she talks about too how I guess her brother's really involved with the newspapers and the news and all that, and she was afraid that her brother would get more sick by reading the newspapers, so she actually didn't allow him to look at any newsprint, she says here, until he gets better. Until he is able to walk unassisted from his bed to his table, he will not be permitted a glimpse of newsprint. Another funny part. Let's see. Okay, a lot of nature here. More on the yew trees. Oh, this made me laugh too. She starts to learn about yew and that it's poisonous and all the plant medicine or toxicity that goes with yew, Y-E-W. And she's talking to a doctor that's explaining this to her. And Jane goes, "UT," I declared. "That smacks of witchcraft and incantation." Why should anyone drink such a thing, pray? Oh, that was funny. The doctor says, like Medusa, yew turns the body to stone. Yew is rarely exposed for the poisonous quackery it is. Oh, okay. And now going back to literature, literary terms, phrases that are awesome. Mr. Hayden collected himself and essayed me a smile. And essayed a smile. That makes me smile. I'd love to say that to someone. You essayed me a smile. Here she's talking about writing again. I took up this journal and pen in an attempt to order my thoughts. I just love seeing anything with writing and terms that have to do with stationery, books. It's fun. And this book is full of it. If you love all that stuff, you'll love this book. It's so fun. You see it all the time. Okay, fun word that I learned. Missive. M-I-S-S-I-V-E. It's another way to say letter. And I guess formally, or in old times, it's more of a formal short letter. Nowadays, it's kind of used as, they make fun of it, or they use it in a fun way to talk about a letter or a long email. But I like that. Missive. I've never heard of a letter as a missive. Jane says, a short missive penned on elegant hot pressed paper was laid by my cup at breakfast. Anyway. Postscript. Love that. P.S. Postscript. Typeset. I looked that up too. I wasted an hour first, however, over my needlework in Henry's parlor in dutiful expectation of a messenger bearing typeset pages of Emma. So typeset, basically, they're giving the author the most up-to-date, cleanest, polished draft of how they want the book to look, like the how do they want the title font, the spacing, how do they want the chapter separated. It's all basically in the formatting and how it's going to look when it's published. So she's waiting to see that so she could say, okay, I like how this looks and this is how I want readers to see it when they receive it, when they are a recipient of my book. Those pages keep going back. Oh man, and then there's so many, everything, her whole writing, it's so fun to read. I was desperate for intelligence of the sort only London could provide. Doesn't that sound James Bondish? Jane Austenish. Instead of James Bond, Jane Bond. Anyway. Okay, and this, I think, up to this point, is the most like sensory description of the appreciation of books. So she writes about, she walks to a bookstore and she says it's a haven for any lover of books. I was not yet so far sunk in depravity as to actually purchase many volumes, being a firm friend of the circulating library. But I dearly love to caress the boards of fresh publications, feel the weight of their paper and the elegance of their type. So I love that. I feel like that's hashtag book lover I put on the side. Cause yeah, I mean, I'm that person. I don't just want the book. I want to feel it. Like, how many pages? Are there pictures? How does it feel? Is it hardcover? Is it not? The colors. This one has I don't know if you can see it, but it has a really cool reflection to it. I mean, even that alone, I was like, whoa, this is fun. And the fact that she's a silhouette on the cover, I really like that. I was like, whoa, that's cool. I mean, that gives it a really mysterious feel too. And then the fact that it's a map. I mean, maps have to show you something, right? They have to take you somewhere you haven't been, or if you have, it's just always fun. You never know what you're gonna find on an adventure, so I really like that. So that caught me right away, the design of this book. So I really like that she's talking about that. She loves all the details and the sensory feelings of the book, not just what's inside of them. But yeah, so far so good. I'm on page, let's see, I'm gonna stop underlining. Yeah, I think I'm finishing chapter 5 on chapter 6. So I've read about 50 pages so far. Absolutely love it. It's funny, it's smart. If you love anything, literature, books, and mystery, this is the book for you. It's really, really good. It's coming. I'm not bored at all. I take any moment that I can to read it, which is usually at night when my son goes to bed, or if he's taking a nap, or early in the morning when he's sleeping. Because otherwise it's full attention to him. But super fun. I'm having a lot of fun with this. I feel like I'm in school again. I'm learning. I'm getting back into reading more often. I'm writing more and just doing what I love to do. I'm an English major, so I went to school, College of Science and Letters. That's my degree, so it feels really good to be doing this. I feel that I feel like I'm where I should be creatively and joyfully, and it's so fun. I love school. If I could be in school, always be able to go to college for free and learn and be in clubs and be around people that are also learning and in clubs. I would love that. Because once you're done with school, I mean, where do you meet people, right? I know the internet, there's lots of ways, but I don't know. I feel like people meet each other. It's hard when you get older and a lot of your friends move away, or you have kids, or whatever the case is. It's not as easy to hang with peeps as often as you do when you're in school. So feel like a student again. I feel young. I feel adventurous, excited, energized. I feel motivated. I feel super creative, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. So bear with me while I figure out the format and how to film and to do this, because I'm not used to using my voice a lot. I tend to just write or take pictures, chapters or page. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to break this apart, but I kind of just wanted to give you a basic good chunk of what's happening right now. So anyway, bye.